20th of April, 2026. We're in Red Hook. Going to get underway tomorrow and head to St. Maarten on the Dutch side. Should be an overnight. And before we do that, we've got to check out of the USVI, so we have a piece of paper to hand to the people in St. Maarten. So I'm going to take the ferry over instead of trying to stop with the boat tomorrow. It should be a lot easier. The ferry's right next door to the marina here at American Yacht Club. That was fairly painless. They give you a 48-hour grace period, which is pretty cool. So we'll be out of here in 24 hours, but that's handy. You can see when I flip the screen around here that to come in here and anchor is possible, but then you've got to have your dinghy deployed so that you get in here to the office. And since I'm going offshore, my dinghy's all rolled up on deck now. And so it's set up pretty convenient if you're going back and forth between the BVI, which is right next door, and the USVI. You usually can just tow your dinghy trailing behind your boat. So it's not a big deal to drop the hook and jump in and clear. Let's take a trip over to the National Park building, which is right there.
You're not.
Okay, we're back. Let's take a quick look at what we're going to do tomorrow. So we're over here on the eastern side of St. Thomas, where I have the little hand cursor there. That's Red Hook right there. We're going to cut across that body of water between St. Thomas and St. John, which is Pillsbury Sound, and then I'm going to transit the south coast of St. John till I get to this point right off the southeast of St. John, which is Ram Point or Ram Gate or something. That's about 10 miles from the marina, so it'd be about 2 hours to get there. And from here down to Simpson Bay on St. Maarten looks like about 93 miles. I measure it as 92 miles on my planning chart. So that's the picture for tomorrow. It's basically going to be an overnight 20 hours or thereabouts. We're going to have to modulate the speed so that we don't arrive too early. Because when we get to St. Maarten, we're going to have to wait in Simpson Bay for the bridge to open. And then we're going to go into the lagoon, Simpson Bay Lagoon, and that's where the marina is. So the first opening on that bridge is at 09:30 on Wednesday when we arrive, and the second opening is at 11:30 in case we were late and we missed the 9:30. But I want to be there, you know, hopefully we're pulling into Simpson Bay around 08:30. We've got to rig our boat with special rigging because the marina is a Medmore style with mooring balls. So that's going to be a lot of fun to do single-handed. But that's the overall idea. And just to take a look at the weather that we can expect. Let me just get rid of this. So by noon tomorrow, we're going to be looking at around 8 knots from the east, and right there at the corner of St. John, about 2 foot swells. So that's, you know, where we're going to start from, motoring across this span of ocean. This is called Enegada Passage, this body of water between the Virgin Islands and the Leeward Islands, which is where St. Maarten is. And when we get to about 9 o'clock at night, 2100, let's see if we can, yeah, we'd be right about in the middle here. Wind will be from the northeast, a little higher amplitude, 13 knots there, gusting up to 16, and 3 feet. So we're thinking, you know, 2 to 4, and that should be fine. Looks like a 6-second wave period, so that should be easy to motor into. And then we continue on, and in the morning, let's say 08, there we go, on Wednesday, we'll have pretty low wind over here, 9 knots, and you know, very, very low wave action. So it should be a pretty uneventful trip to get across here. There's no precipitation likely, not much in the way of waves, and low wind. So we'll be motoring into the latent variable wind. And this will really kind of close out the Thorny Path, which is the whole trip that we've taken from Florida and arriving in the leewards will kind of close that phase out. And from there, just to take a quick look at what awaits us, is we still have to get south down the Caribbean chain here, through the leewards and the windwards. We're going to head initially down to maybe we'll head here to Martinique from St. Maarten, and then from Martinique down to St. George's in Grenada, and then finally our final destination is Trinidad, which is an overnight sail from Grenada, and that's where the boat's going to be for hurricane season. And we're going to put the boat up on the hard for August, September, and October. And so that's kind of an overview of what's on our plate once we get to St. Maarten. But first we have to get to St. Maarten. So there we are. I'll check with you in the morning when we leave.